We spent 7 years at the International House of Prayer in Kansas City, including 5 years when I was the overseer of pastoral care. In late October of 2023, news was announced that there were allegations of clergy sexual abuse against Mike Bickle, the founder and leader of IHOP-KC. A group of former leaders approached the organization's executive leadership team with the allegations that seemed credible because there were several other women who had claimed something similar had happened to them. When we first heard the news we thought it couldn't be possible, but I knew those on the advocacy group supporting Jane Doe and the other women to be godly, honest, and good people, and they would never bring such a heinous charge without definitive proof. The AG made the simple request for an independent third-party investigation by an investigator agreed upon by both sides. This has been our call as well, to let everything in darkness come to light, because if there isn't a hint of impropriety then a close examination would do no harm. But since that time the ELT and board of IHOP-KC has done everything in their power to block a true independent investigation, and since the news of this has been all over social media, Christian media, and international news broadcasts, more women have come forward. One woman who identified herself as TH, claims that the relationship started when Mike was 20 and she was 15 years old and continued until 2003. She said he begged her to keep the relationship a secret and told her that God had showed him that Mike's wife would die and then they could be together. That same story and pickup line was consistent in several of the other women's stories. But the biggest news came out last week in the Kansas City Star when Tammy Woods, a wife, mother and grandmother living in Michigan, finally broke her silence of clergy sexual abuse at the hands of Mike Bickle that began 40 years ago when Mike was a married pastor and she was their 14-year-old babysitter. This news became too much for most everyone, and even the leadership of IHOP-KC said it was a monstrous, heinous, and evil act perpetrated by Mike Bickle, but there has still been no action on hiring a truly independent and agreed-upon investigation into these and other allegations. To say our hearts are grieving would be an understatement, especially after we have seen other giants in the evangelical realm fall in recent history. Men like Ravi Zacharias and Bill Hybels of Willow Creek Church have been investigated and found to have used their positions of influence and power to spiritually and sexually abuse women in their sphere of influence. The news about Mike Bickle's past takes a toll on us emotionally and spiritually, as we ask, how could we have not seen this while it was going on right under our noses? Much of the prophetic history of IHOP-KC was tainted and twisted to manipulate the women and anyone accusing Mike Bickle or IHOP-KC. How are we to deal with the prophetic now that we have seen it used in such a sinister way? We continue to press into Him who is the same yesterday, today, and forever, because He is truth and His love is never tainted. He is always good. Always. So, though we grieve, question and mourn, God is faithfully carrying us and those who have been harmed. We continue to pray for and advocate for a third-party investigation, and we will use our voices for those who have no voice.